So here we are at the walls of the old city. La Ciudad Colonial, La Zona Colonial. The colonial zone is, as it is called here in Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. This area over here, once you come outside of those gates, you leave those gates, and you come outside here into the wild, this is called La Ciudad Nueva, the new city, and this is where I live. So back in the day when they had the forts and everything like that, and Columbus and his sons established Santo Domingo, the city was only open twice a day, and these gates were locked for most of the day and obviously most of the night as well. So yeah, if you lived out there 500 years ago, you were a native. You were a native barbarian. So I've lived in the Dominican Republic for the last 5 years, off and on, but out of the last 5, I've spent about 3.5 years here, so mostly on. I came out during the pandemic on a wing and a prayer. I was in Europe at the time. I wasn't in the UK. You can probably tell from my accent I'm British. I was in Portugal. And Portugal decided to introduce a 1 p.m. curfew. I thought, I can't handle this. As a single bald man, you know, I need to be out there in the wild doing things. And so I looked around which countries would basically let me in, and there were 3. There was Brazil, Dominican Republic, and Dubai. I rolled the dice and came here. And the rest is history. It changed my life in so many ways. There's a surprise around every corner here. So we're going to walk now through, let me show you, I'll show you some areas of the colonial. And I've been here for the last 10 months, and I'm actually just about to fly out on Saturday. I'm going out to Medellin, and I'm going to be spending a month out there with a friend, a fellow traveler, a fellow entrepreneur, and I'm excited, but I just wanted to make a final video before I leave. Well, a video, because I've not done much on this channel. So I wanted to make a video of Santo Domingo before I leave. So yeah, for anyone who is not familiar with Santo Domingo and the Dominican Republic, it's very historically significant. Santo Domingo was the first European city in the Americas, full stop. It's older than the USA. And it was founded by Columbus himself. And in this video, we will actually go and check out Columbus's son's house as well. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, it's an old, classic city. It's also home to the oldest university in the Americas. So, yeah, what can I say? A lot of history here. I find it personally very inspiring to walk around these streets.
Okay.
So people sometimes ask me, is it dangerous out there? Is it not dangerous? In fact, mostly people just tell me that it's dangerous. And they just kind of assume that it's just super dangerous. But in fact, if you're a smart, conscientious traveler, you won't have any issues in the DR. You really won't. If you're reckless or borderline suicidal, then you might have some big issues. Like most countries, there are dangerous areas, there are dodgy areas. I'm from Sheffield. There are some very bad areas in Sheffield, UK. Horrific areas, to be honest. And it's the same out here, obviously. Probably the only difference is some of the areas out here, the guys are packing serious weaponry, you know, artillery level machine guns, yeah, some of the gangs and things. But you don't go to those areas, and those areas are many, many kilometers away. And the good thing about this island in the last 10, 20 years is since one of the main focuses of the government has been making sure it's a lot safer. So areas like this, for example, this is, for me, safer than anywhere in the UK, walking around. It's policed 24 hours a day. And if someone gets caught up to no good here, you know, woe betide them, because they don't really have the issues that we have in the West when it comes to punishment. You know, they'll you don't want to get caught out here if you're a criminal. Let me put it that way. It's not good. It's not good for the criminal, but it's good for everybody else because it's a real deterrent. So safety-wise, you don't have much to worry about if you're sensible. Problem is most people aren't. That's the problem. So yeah, we'll carry on walking, strolling through here on the city tour. This is a lovely little street actually, here. We'll pass just all these age-old buildings. What it is to live in a place as old and historical as and significant as this. And yeah, this island has meant a lot to me. It's really meant a lot to me over the last 5 years. I was 35 when I came out, and it gave me a new lease on life. I'd always wanted to come for longer to the Americas. I'd assumed it would be Brazil. I just took a chance coming out here, and wow. Yeah, completely changed my life. Found a new passion, a new place, new friends, new adventures, found love, lost love. But it's been an amazing 5 years. As you can see as well, you know, people think the place it's like a poor country. It's really not. It's really not. So, yeah, this area is called the colonial zone here. You see all these old buildings. I'll just take you down to this lovely church here on the corner. It's interesting how these resonances happen in life though, because the first I ever heard about the Dominican Republic as any country of significance was when I read a book when I was studying Spanish called La Fiesta del Chivo, the party of the goat, festival of the goat. And it was about the old president of Dominican Republic, a guy called Trujillo, who was kind of standards, a notable, not a standard, he was a notable Latin American president, dictator, and the guy who's a polarizing figure, as most dictators tend to be, but actually built up the country a lot. Created a lot of what is a lot of the foundations for what is modern Dominican Republic, and left a lasting mark on the nation. He's much maligned now, Trujillo, because the liberal press obviously hate people like that, and liberal historians. And he was, he was a military dictator, and most likely a sexual deviant as well. So, here we go. So all that side of things is what tends to get emphasized now. But I don't know, you speak to people here, there's a lot of people who have a different angle on him. You know, they say he was flawed, but he was an absolutely hardcore patriot who did great things in the country. Go past the flag here. So Dominican Republic as a country became independent from Spain. I'm not sure exactly what the date of independence was. The guy's Duarte, I think it's. Let's have a look here. We should be able to check on that reference right now. So this is Duarte up there. This is the man himself, the founder of the country, the leader of the independence. When was it? We've got multiple dates here: 1813, 1838, 1844, 1876. 1800s anyway. Independent from Spain, and the leader of a new nation. And like most Spanish, all these Spanish Americas and Portuguese Americas, the country has since been run by a group called the Criollos, who are local. Basically, they're Spanish who stayed behind. There were the Spanish elites who stayed behind. They wanted the power for themselves. They didn't want to report back to the king anymore. So they rebelled. And really, 200 years later, those significant families still own and run most of the big businesses here. So they did very well out of it. And they created a great country as well, overall. So at the moment, they're doing a lot of remodeling of this area. This is the colonial area that's just being, you can see, I'll show you the facades here. It's not in as bad condition as Cuba, but some of the buildings need a refab. That's definitely one of them there. I mean, it has its own charm. You can see it's starting to fall apart a little bit. And so a lot of that work is going on at the moment. And I think it's going to be fantastic, to be honest, when it's all spick and span. I really do. Yeah, if you're an investor with a few million quid, somewhere like that, if you've got any brains, this place is just it's just waiting to go. Really, with the right investment, it's just waiting to go. Part of me does wonder is the opportunity here is so big that part of me wonders, why has it not happened already? So it does make me wonder, is it difficult? I mean, it's easy to buy property here, but is it difficult to invest in the local commercial markets? Are they a bit protective over that? I don't know. But certainly this area around here, I mean, it's just waiting to go. It's waiting to go. You know, this really could be, this could almost be a Lisbon-like area around here with all the little tiki bars and stuff like that. There aren't really many so far at the moment. So it's all just waiting to go, essentially. So we'll go on a little, now I'll come back around there. First of all, I need to go and print off my boarding documents for tomorrow. I need to go and print some stuff off for Saturday. So we'll go to the printers first of all. You see some of the issues though here. Electric wiring. Wires hanging down all over the place. They could do with sorting that out. Which I think they will. I think they will. It's a step-by-step, phase-by-phase thing. But yeah, you can see buildings like this, for example. This has been revamped. All this stuff has been revamped. Like, you know, hotels, bars, high-end gentrification. This is going to be really stunning when it's done. Yeah, so if you've got a few million, or even a few hundred grand, this is a good place to be. That's it. Yeah, there's building construction is a little loose here. Let's have a look now at I'll show you the oldest hospital in the Americas. If you need a hospital, this is the place to come. Yeah? You got a headache, 500 years ago, you come here and they drill a hole in your head. So this is it here. Oldest hospital in the Americas. It's a little bit run down now. Yeah. I get my paracetamol, yeah, and my morphine. But yeah, look at that. I mean, it's quite a construction. And the old buildings as well, you can see they have large, like, the way they're built is they have large windows at either end, so you can get a nice breeze going through. And it's one of the things that is impressive about the Spanish, is that they built things in that way. They knew how to create breezes, wind tunnels, and so on. Because if you think about living here without aircon, it would have been absolutely intolerable for Europe. Even for natives would have been hard. For Europeans, would have basically been impossible. So they had building techniques that allowed them to do it. So yeah, some nice luxury hotels. This actually looks really nice here. A lot of these hotels, right, they look nothing on the outside. And you go in and it's just, wow. Like this stunning world inside. It's really cool. So how are we doing for time? We're nearly 20 minutes in. Right, I'll come back shortly and we'll go over and see Christopher Columbus's house. So here we are. Back after my little pit stop, and look at this. Quite the historical backdrop for the ending of this video. Yeah, this is called the Alcázar de Colón, and it was built by the Columbus family, specifically Christopher Columbus's son. And we've got this lovely embankment here with restaurants. This is one of the nicest places to come and have a drink in Santo Domingo. I love this area. The just lights up at night as well. And yeah, I find it very inspiring to live here. Incredibly inspiring. It's a great capital. If you do come to the Dominican Republic, I would actually recommend, if you're more of a backpacker, traveler, adventurer, don't bother with Punta Cana. Punta Cana is where you go if you just want a luxury holiday and just want to disconnect. But if you're wanting a bit more adventure, come to the capital. Go up to some of the beaches in the north. Maybe even check out Santiago as well. That's a fantastic city as well. So yeah, these are the battlements here behind me. Actually, my fellow countryman, Sir Francis Drake, actually once invaded and took control of Santo Domingo. They're still annoyed. This is what I love about European powers. They stay pissed off with each other for like centuries. They're still annoyed with him in the museum for doing that. They're still not happy with Francis Drake, as he took it for, I think it was maybe up to a year actually. So yeah, it's pretty cool, pretty cool. Right, so I'm gonna wind things down here. We'll just go and have a look at maybe one or two more of these buildings here. And I'll be starting my evening. So Joseph, international explorer, El Explorador. Next stop, Medellin. Santo Domingo, this has been awesome.